You're watching On Demand. Please check the closing time before trying to vote or enter any competition or other interactivity in this programme, as it may not count and you may still be charged.
Hello and welcome to a very special edition of Loose Women. In the 22 years we've been on your screens, there's been too many loose women to even count. All of them fun, fiery and full of strong opinions. And some of our most recent additions to the panel certainly fit that bill. Today they'll be settling in with some of us original panellists to watch back some of their favourite moments so far. There'll be tears of laughter, some shocking moments and even a few sad bits too. First up, she's Loose Women's 8th main presenter in history. Charlene sat back with our JSP for a good old loose look back.
Now, I've got to ask you, did you ever watch Loose Women?
Do you know what? I started watching it after I had my first baby, after Alfie. So I was on maternity leave, so I was at home all the time. And that's when I really, really got into watching you guys doing your thing, because it was just company, really.
Now, in 2020, you were a guest on the show.
Yeah.
So, because you watched it before, you knew what you were going to be put through. And then you got asked to host the show.
Yeah. It was nervous, very exciting. And just, I didn't know what to expect. And walking through into this building, which I'd never done before, and being in the meeting with all you guys and then being on this set was quite a big moment for me, really.
Well, let's take a look.
All right.
Please welcome our brand new anchor, keeping us all in check, the lovely Charlene White. Woo!
Now, Charlene, you had to walk on. The walking on is fearful, isn't it?
It really is, because then you sort of think, am I going to fall? Because I was in the highest heels possible and I was so nervous, but loved it. Oh, and gosh, the ladies that day, just like all of you, were brilliant.
Were you a bit anxious about who you'd be doing the show with?
I was, and I have to say, and I will be completely honest, the person I was most nervous about, I was working with you.
No, surely not. I can't believe that.
No, do you know what? And it's not because of your personality or anything, because your personality is absolutely brilliant. I was just in awe of you because I just respect everything you've done in your entire career and the sort of ceilings that you've burst through and the things that you've achieved. And I just think it's absolutely brilliant. So in terms of someone I was most nervous about meeting, it was you, because I respect you so much.
Now, as well as talking about subjects that are in the news, which you'd be far more comfortable with, one of the things that we do on Loose Women is talk about how we've dealt with big moments in our own lives. And I think for new people coming into the show, that's quite a big hurdle because you have to be comfortable talking about something that might be incredibly personal. And I remember when you were first on that we were talking about grief and you told us how it felt to lose your mum when you were quite young.
My mum died when I was 21, 22, and I became pregnant when I was 36. So that's a long time to not have a conversation about that. But it was just the wave of grief suddenly just was all-consuming. And it was a friend of mine, Tara, who suggested that I go and talk to a therapist about it. I'm not going to cry, I'm going to try really hard not to cry.
I can tell then, Charlene, that you're finding this quite hard.
Yeah, it's because it's also talking about things that perhaps other people haven't heard me talk about. It's quite a personal thing, but that's the wonderful thing about this programme, is actually we can do the funny stuff, but we can do the really intimate stuff that you don't get anywhere else. And I guess for people, what I understand now is by opening up little bits about ourselves, the impact that it can have outside of these four walls can be huge.
Right, well, Charlene, let's lighten the mood a little bit, because you never know what subjects you're going to have to talk about on Loose Women. That's part of the joy of the programme. So I'm only going to say one word to you: spiders.
Oh, my gosh, this was awful. We're completely fine with the spider. Oh, God!
That is so mean.
Do you know what happened? Apparently, they were setting that up and getting all the studio guys here were setting it up when I was in the studio, but I didn't see them doing it. So I'm chatting away, and suddenly I can see everybody's eyes turning in one direction. I turn, and suddenly there's a spider coming. Oh. And honestly, that's why I screamed. That was a natural reaction, because I didn't know what was going to happen. What do you reckon?
Go, Charlene.
You
they
see,
look lovely.
There we go. I'm
catwalk.
modelling the latest in summer fashion. I've got my clogs on. Not clogs, they're Crocs. Crocs.
The other thing about appearing on Loose Women is you get bamboozled into doing things that in your other life you would never, ever agree to do.
Never.
And I can't believe it that to this day that I agreed to wear a hot dog outfit, which is that clip gets thrown up at every opportunity. On Loose Women, you often get to interview people you might have a secret crush on. And I think you're a little bit tongue-tied when up popped Gary Barlow.
Oh, my gosh. I've got to get this out of the way. I was a huge fan. I had your posters up on my wall. I've been to so many different...
Oh, my goodness, I can't believe that. Oh, you can't stop. Look, you...
Do you know what it was? It's Gary Barlow. You know, it's Gary. Like, literally every girl in class when I was growing up wanted to be with Take That and meet Take That and talk with Take That. And there I was talking to Gary Barlow.
Oh, get a grip, Charlie. It's Gary Barlow. Nice Gary.
Right, Janet, I've had enough of you just showing embarrassing things about me. I now want to show you a few embarrassing things about you. I hear you're pretty good at spitting lyrics, Janet. Shall we take a look?
This is shocking.
I was chilling with my homeboys, feeling free, when I got a call from the BBC. I knew that I was stupid fresh. They wanted me and in the flesh.
I'd like to know who did the voice.
Just brilliant. Please tell me that you're actually going to recreate it right now. There we are.
I can't believe I agreed to this either. This is up there with a hot dog.
I love this.
I was chilling with my homeboys, feeling free when I got a call from the...
This is amazing. I literally want this as my ringtone. Oh, this is great.
In the flesh. Now listen up, because this is the truth. They put an old fart like me in charge of you. It's the truth, it's the truth. You know me. All right, let's...
Janet, this is TV gold.
You forget I lived with a rapper for 5 years.
So I feel like that's not your only musical moment. Do you know which one I'm talking about?
No.
Oh, well, luckily...
See, some things, Charlene, I have blocked from my memory.
Oh, but that's what I'm here for today, Janet, is to rekindle those memories for you. Here we go. Oh, you're going to sing? Oh, please tell me you're going to sing. Yes!
I can't sing a note.
Amen.
I'm good. I can't sing a note. I need to have this clip ended.
Training men! Hallelujah!
Oh, my goodness, now all I want to do is, like, hit a bar, a karaoke bar with you, with some booze and some great tunes and have a really great time.
Actually, talking about being a fan, I met the Weather Girls that sing It's Raining Men and I was so excited. I didn't sing it back to them, though. What's your favourite karaoke song, anyway?
Ba-da-da-dum, da-da-dum.
Compete. I'm bowing out at this point.
Oh, no! I now need you to have a microphone so you can sing with me.
Not going to happen, Charlene. Not till you've done another 10 years.
So the joy of this programme, Janet, is yes, we get to do the singing stuff and yes, we get to do the dressing up stuff, but we also get to do some really great debates. And one thing you are very good at, Janet, is a fiery debate.
I don't want to be 100 living in the corner with my carrot, watching everyone else having fun.
I'm nearer to 100 than you are. Mylene, I'm nearer to 100 than you are, and I know, I mean, really super fit.
But you don't always have fun. You complain a lot.
When? To the women of Britain, I'm 67, I'm a role model, Mylene. I'm not saying, you know. You won't see many pensioners looking like me.
I agree with you on that, and I think you are fabulous and look fabulous, but...
Flattering, you know that. You've done
You're always happy, Janet. You're not always happy.
I'm happy when I'm not around you, Mylene Foley.
I can't believe I said that.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, God. That is bad.
You went in. You went in with
just
that.
Going on and on at me.
Coming up next, the naughtiest nanny around. Our Linda Robson, of course, sits down with one of our most recent recruits, Frankie Bridge. There'll be loads of laughs, but it might be a bit of a tearjerker when both Frankie and Linda recall how they fought for their lives during some of their toughest times. We'll see you after this.
Welcome back to Loose Women. Sorry, I had a little moment there I forgot was on the telly.
And these puppies are all mine.
Don't touch me!
There were several things in our early days that made me think, I'm going to marry you. One was filling the car up with petrol.
Oh, look at that picture. Oh, now, what's happening to you now, Christine?
Oh, I'm tingling all over. It's a fabulous sight.
Oh, I love that. Welcome back to Loose Women, where today some of the latest loose women to join our family take a loose look back at some of their best bits so far. In just a moment, Frankie Bridge and Linda take their seats. But first, it's time for our competition, and what a prize we've got for you. Take a look at this.
We have got an amazing two-part prize package up for grabs that will turn your world upside down.
You could be living mortgage or rent-free for 2 years. Yes, that's right. No matter where you live in the UK, if you have rent or a mortgage, we'll cover it for a whole 2 years.
Just think of all the spare cash you're going to save. And speaking of cash,
We're also throwing in a whopping £70,000 in tax-free cash. And every penny will be yours to spend.
can you imagine living mortgage or rent-free for the next 2 years with an extra £70,000 in your back pocket? It takes seconds to enter. Here's how.
For another chance to win, go to the website, entries cost £2. Text WIN to 86060. Text costs £2 plus one standard network rate message. Call 09068 786060. Calls cost £2 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and phone number to DY31 PO Box 7558 Derby DE10NQ. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close on Friday, 3rd of September at 3 p.m. Good luck.
Now, in 2020, in the middle of a global pandemic, we welcomed fabulous Frankie Bridge to our panel. Being one of our youngest loose women, it was only right that she teamed up with our resident nanny, Linda Robson, for a look back at some of her and Linda's best bits.
Oh. Well, it's Linda and Frankie, so I thought I'd call us Lanky.
Lanky, I like it.
Take that. You were first on Loose Women with the Saturdays, probably about 12 years ago.
Oh, Linda.
Do you remember?
Yeah, we used to come on here all the time. Every single, I think.
And who was your favourite Loose Woman then?
Oh, obviously you, obviously.
I don't think I was on there then.
Oh, Kaye, was she on then? No? Nadia?
No.
No, oh, God, what are you doing to me?
Oh, let's just go. Let's have a look at one of the clips of you 12 years ago with the Saturdays.
Please welcome Frankie and Rochelle from the Saturdays.
Oh, look at you.
Hello, ladies.
My hair.
How does that feel, seeing yourself?
So weird.
So crazy. We kind of still can't believe it now. Everything keeps like happening.
How much makeup we've got on.
I know.
For like daytime TV.
Bit tired, been in there all day, and the phone started ringing, and I picked up the phone, but it was the bottle of water. I just poured the bottle of water.
Oh, I'm so crazy. My voice is so weird.
You look so young. You haven't really changed that much. How does it feel seeing yourself back then?
It's like, you know what? I don't even remember that. That was so early on.
Yeah.
And it just feels like a completely different person.
And how does Wayne feel about you being a loose woman now?
You know what? He really likes it. He tries to watch it as much as possible, but every so often I'll come home and he'll be like, what have you said today? Someone sent me a message or whatever, and I always think, I know what you're like. You're always saying things you shouldn't say.
I'm always in trouble.
And you have to, like, watch yourself sometimes. You just get carried away in conversation, don't you? But he's fine. He's kind of used to it. I've spoken about our relationship a lot over the years.
Talk about being thrown in at the deep end. We did Body Stories not long after you joined Loose Women. How did you feel about doing the Body Stories?
I was really nervous. I assumed in my head, I don't know why, that it would just be like a portrait.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, that's a great idea, really up for it. That's what I'm all about. I don't use filters anymore, blah, blah, blah. And then they were like, and you're going to wear a bikini. And I was like, ah, OK.
And do you remember our first meeting?
I do, Linda.
Yes.
Yes.
So I opened the door to your dressing room and you were standing there looking absolutely gorgeous in a bikini. And what was the first thing I said to you?
You went, I don't want to be stood next to you. And then you turned around and went in your dressing room and shut the door.
Oh,
Oh, no, well, wait, you don't get all uppity at me because I've made a big discovery about you that I feel like the world needs to know.
Oh, God.
That Kaye walks around, I can't even... You pick it up and you show everyone what you
It's a
walk around with
water
every
bottle.
day.
What's your problem?
So she has this
It's
water
so
bottle. Look
gross.
how lovely she looks and pristine. Now turn it up and show everyone what's on the bottom.
George.
An old piece of chewing gum. Who does that? For how long? How long has that been on there? Like, literally makes for sick.
Listen, I have
No, you tell everyone how long it's been on there.
What's the problem? I have a justification for this because you
Don't
know...
touch it.
Don't tell me you re-eat it.
No.
Don't touch it. I can't deal with it. It stresses me out so much.
It's just there if I need a snack.
So gross.
It's just a bit like blue tack, so you can put that under the bottle to make
Not
sure
like
it doesn't
blue
move.
tack. That has been
It doesn't move.
That has been around her mouth.
She's been on it 22 years. She's had it under there for 22 years.
Disgusting, Linda. I can't deal with it. But that's what I love about her is that I can like take the mickey out of her and she does it back.
Now, you've always been really honest about your problems and your mental health problems.
I've been battling for a really long time with depression and anxiety, kind of behind closed doors. I didn't want to be here anymore. I felt like I'd become Frankie from the Saturdays, and then there was this other Frankie, and I'd become two different people.
How difficult was that, sharing it with like the Loose Women audience?
You know, I feel like I've been on before as a guest to talk about my mental health on the show, and I always think everyone's always so nice about it. It's always a really nice conversation. But I was always really nervous, whereas I found now being on the panel, it just felt really comfortable talking about it.
Yeah.
Kind of feels like chatting to your mates.
Well, listen, we don't want to make you cry, but we do want to say, oh, my goodness, we've missed you.
So you mentioned that I've been quite open talking about my mental health, and you took a year off Loose Women, didn't you? Because you were struggling yourself.
Maybe a bit longer. I had really bad mental health and anxiety and started drinking to try and black out because I couldn't face getting through every day, because I felt like I'd let all my family down, my sisters, my kids, and just didn't want to be here, didn't want to be around. I just wanted to... They had to lock me in because I kept trying to escape because I just couldn't face what I was doing to them every day. And it was like the hardest time in my life. And because I'd always been the one that had looked after my family and looked after my sisters, looked after my children, my husband, my grandchildren, and all of a sudden they were having to look after me, and I found that really difficult to cope with. The girls were amazing. Janet Street Porter used to ring me every night, Nadia, Kaye, they were all like really, really supportive. And yeah, but I'm through it now and I'm back to how I used to be, I hope.
Yeah. What made you want to go on and talk about it on the show?
I just felt it was important to explain to people why I'd been away for such a long time, and also to try and help people because, as I said, and as you probably think as well, you never thought it'd happen to you. I never thought it'd happen to me in a million years.
So you're definitely our resident naughty nana, Linda.
I'm afraid so, yeah. I don't intend to be. I don't set out to be when I leave the house in the morning.
But you often say things that you shouldn't say,
words
on TV,
say
words you
well.
shouldn't say.
Yeah.
And I have to say, there were a lot of clips for us to choose from.
Yeah.
But we had to try and choose the cleanest one.
I can't be honestly.
Oh, Linda.
Linda, hang on. Remember your mum used to call you Baggy Mouth? Yes. You've done it again. You're not allowed to say that word, Baggy Mouth.
Do your family, when they're watching, do they tell you off for using
Yes,
that
I'm
word?
always in trouble. Normally, when I get in the car to go home, I get a phone call from one of them saying, oh, my God, what have you said today? My husband as well, sometimes when I've said things about him. I said about him waxing his chest, and I thought he'll never, ever find out about it. And the dustman said to him, what's all this about you waxing your chest? He went, what have you been saying on Loose Women? I said, well, you shouldn't watch it, should you? You shouldn't listen to anyone.
We've got a really big announcement from one of the panel. Linda Robson, it's over to you.
I have got a new bra.
Yeah! Oh, you didn't get it out, did you?
I can't remember. The bra bra on, the other bra that I'd had for years, it's like made an indent into my shoulder there because they're so heavy. A nice wide strap. So I've had a £15 boob job.
I mean, that was 5 years ago.
Was it 5 years ago?
And you've just told me that you're still wearing your old
Still got the same bra,
So
yeah.
why are you not wearing your new bra?
No, because this one's comfortable. I went back to my old one.
You said it was digging into your shoulders.
Yeah, but it's not anymore.
Oh, well, I've got you a new one. See if you'll still be wearing this one in 5 years'
Oh, my
time.
God, that don't look comfortable at all. Look at all them wires underneath.
I know, but I feel
that
like
looks
it's
like
what you should be
Dorian's bra,
wearing, Linda.
not my bra. Look at that. That won't even go on me.
You could break a few more bed slats for that one, I reckon.
How's
Get
that?
them in there, girl. That looks nice, doesn't it?
You could be Tarzan, I could be Jane.
So now we're going to watch what I know are some of your favourite moments, Linda, because you got in bed with Ricky Martin.
Lovely
You got a
was.
massage from Buble.
I did. I wondered if you'd give me a little shoulder rub, if it's not too much. Thank you very much. I'll come and sit over here.
Now, don't say
You were
that,
just
Michael.
being serenaded by Michael Bublé there.
I know, you were like, yeah, no, don't sing to me.
Would pay.
Every time you go away.
Oh my gosh, you fully got in there. I love that anyone else would just love Bublé to sing to him, and you're like, yeah, no, shut up, give me a massage.
Oh, I just got what every other woman in the country wanted.
I mean, you got what Kaye
was
wanted.
absolutely fuming. I know, yeah, it was so nice. And then I massaged him after that.
Did you?
Yeah.
They didn't get that
We
on
were
camera.
supposed to have him on there for 5 minutes. I think we was on there for about 45 minutes in the room.
What
with
did he
him
look like he was
in his
enjoying
hotel room.
himself?
He did. He was great fun, honestly. He really was. He was lovely.
Can we have him on again?
Oh, yes, please. My shoulders are actually hurting now.
I'm not massaging you.
Oh, blooming love those two. Next up, Penny Lancaster sits down with one of our Loose Women original, Jane Moore, with some revelations about Rod and some raw moments for Penny. It's a great watch. See you after this.
I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want.
Tell you what I want, what I really, really want, yeah?
With no bra on now, my boobs will be under the desk.
So she's getting all of that plate in that little bit of...
This is called experience. I know what I'm doing when it comes to packing my food.
Colleen, we've got a message for you.
This woman stared and she went, do I know you? And I said, yeah, I work on the telly. He said, oh, thank God, I thought I knew you from prison.
My boxer dog's just broke a window and it's horrific.
Oh, we do have some laughs, don't we? Welcome back to Loose Women, where today some of our newest panellists are having a loose look back at their time so far. Gorgeous Penny sat down with our Jane for their trip back in time.
Here we go.
Oh, I'm excited, Jane.
You've not done this before.
No,
have
I haven't.
you? Oh, yeah, I've done this
I've missed
before.
out.
It's good. It's fun.
I bet.
You ready to see the first clip?
Go on,
So this
yeah.
is going back to 2006. So this is your first ever guest appearance on the show. Let's take a look.
Straddling the chair.
It's very cosy. I like.
Would you like a new set of teeth? Or...
Can I just say, you look exactly the same.
I can't recognise her myself. That's just strange.
How do you think the boys would feel? Have they seen like really old clips of you?
They've seen like the odd photo or two, but yeah, I think they'd be like, oh, Mom, no, so like laugh at it, but it is weird, isn't it? Because every stage you're at in your life, you just accept you for who you are at the time. And I know, looking back when I was first modelling, I thought I still needed to lose weight, and then when you look back, you're thinking, what? And I was ashamed of that. I looked amazing, and I guess it's each stage you go through, right? I'm insecure now about my menopausal weight gain, and well, I'm blaming menopause anyway, but I'm sure in another 10 years' time I look back and go, well, you looked all right for 50 to me. You know, it's just...
Well, to me, you
time
don't look
goes
any
by.
different at all. So
Oh,
there you
bless
go.
you, Jane.
So let's have a look at the next clip now. So this is 2014. So this is when you joined us as a panellist.
Yes.
Yeah, so let's take a look.
New loose woman, Penny Lancaster. Jane Moore.
I was not pleased. It was like you were up here, legs, like, look at you.
I remember not knowing where to put my legs.
And as you can see, we've got a new face on the panel today. It's Penny Lancaster.
Yeah, half of the battle in those days was staying on those chairs.
Yeah. It was to walk out behind you.
I felt really honoured, actually, to be asked to to have a position, more of a permanent position on one of the seats, and you could discuss anything, and you knew that the viewers at home were people that kind of you could relate to, they could relate to you in the sense that, you know, I was a mother. Just because I'm Rod Stewart's wife, I still go through the same things that everyone else goes through on a certain level.
Penny, you've spoken about your struggles with IVF. But, Rod, we've never heard your side of this. It's always interesting to get the sort of male viewpoint on fertility and you know, when you are struggling, you have to go through IVF. How was it for you?
Shall I tell you what it was like then?
Yeah.
Because you know what you have to do.
Yeah. We don't need necessarily the nuts and bolts, if you'll excuse the phrase.
No. You know what you have to do.
You're literally like, oh, no.
That's his naughty boy expression.
Not necessarily
Can
the
I
nuts
tell
and
them
bolts.
about my sperm?
Tell them anything you want, Dad. Tell them anything you want. I'm going, oh.
The process,
yeah.
when Penny's... Can I tell this? When Penny's there...
The way he keeps checking with me.
The doctor went in there and with little Aiden in the tube.
There were 3 embryos.
Yeah, we could have had 3 kids. But he did not blink for 20 minutes. And then he put it in like that.
Look at him.
Silent.
Well, scientist.
It is.
We're just one of those couples that, you know, we share our affection behind closed doors as well as on the other side, because, you know, when you're in the public eye, you don't know when you're going to get a private moment, so you're just who you are. I mean, we never kind of pretend to be anything we're not. And I guess, but we have a mutual respect and a line where we know we wouldn't pass, although my husband...
There was a couple of times there where you were thinking, is he going to step over that line?
Now here we have Penny.
I don't have
Look
the
at those
spikes. I have
legs.
the very comfortable heel, and I could promise you I could run in these. So,
But you do.
It's a combination of the heel.
Janet's face.
My daughter hairdo. Any woman putting a heel on, it enhances the outfit. It makes you hold your posture better. Makes you feel
You
more
tell her.
elegant. Yes. And, there you go, ladies. I can see you sitting up there.
Completely and utterly and profoundly disagree. I think they're hobbling, ugly, degrading shoes. Men to put women in their place, and the idea that you two are wearing them and mouthing off about how great they are shows you being totally and comprehensively brainwashed.
Putting someone in their place, you tend to refer to as putting women down, OK? When you put a heel on, you rise above. Yes!
You tell them. Another thing that we obviously do, which you've been very powerful with on this show, is that we talk about very emotional things in our lives as well.
Yeah.
It takes you, doesn't it? It's a moment on show, and, you know, I can see that you're okay?
Yeah.
It's funny how it's happened to a lot of us, actually, where you just be talking about something that you think, oh, I'm fine, and then suddenly you get overtaken by this feeling of...
Yeah, and I feel, as I said before, I feel safe on the show, and I feel that when you're having those conversations and there's important topics, that I don't ever feel like I need to keep it private or keep it to myself, because I feel that will help others, and if it means me getting upset, it kind of just hits home even more importantly, I guess, to people to recognise that certain dangers and implications to the way people behave and things. So, yeah, I mean, things that have happened to me in the past that have been kind of tragic or upsetting have just kind of made me, I guess, the person that I am today.
It's really brave of you to tell that story.
So back in 1999, I remember it well, it's when I met Rod, but you first started with Loose Women.
What have they dug up?
She hasn't changed.
She looks so like Kiki. Oh, look!
Oh, my God!
Collagen! Do you know, this feels like another lifetime. And some of the things that I used to come out with that now haunt me, I think, oh, my goodness me.
Yeah, I mean, it is. I mean, it is that syndrome. Another one this week is that springs to mind is Robson Green, who for years was married and
so
they
young.
opted not to have children.
Look at those collars. Look at that collar.
His new girlfriend is pregnant. But it is a whole new it completely shifts the dynamics, I think, of a new relationship.
This was your first ever show?
When another
No.
But
But
first
probably,
year.
probably the first week.
Oh, first week.
I think, maybe.
A little boy already. And I mean, it's
quite Lady Di with that sort of sweepy hair there.
The peroxide.
It's a grenade because I think one of the quotes in the papers was that this would cement the relationship.
Oh, isn't it nice? And then the three of you are still here.
Yeah. I mean, we're
wonderful.
still really, really good mates,
Yeah.
you know. And I mean, oh God, it is incredible having all that footage going back that they haunt me with every so often. But it was such a groundbreaking show at the time, and it was so brilliant to be part of it. It still is, you know, to this day. But also to just see how we've all kind of evolved. I was the only one with a child at the time.
Wow.
So Kaye and Nadia didn't have kids.
Gosh.
So yeah, it's
and that kind of just shows you that why the audience of Loose Women are so dedicated, because
they move with you.
They've moved with
through
you.
your life.
You know, it's like a rock star. You get the three generations out there in the audience, and you probably do with this. They're probably grandmothers with their kids, and you know, all still
and still
watching
to this
you
day, they
guys.
might go, "Well, you said that today, but you didn't think that in 1999." And I'm thinking, "Oh my goodness,
how we change over the years." I've heard a rumour that you can do the splits. Yeah, I mean, there's no warming up there. That's amazing.
I'm blaming the trousers.
Impressed by that. Right, go on, Jane. This is your moment.
You know, we were talking about modesty pants.
You got your modesty pants.
Got your modesty pants. Got my modesty pants on.
Okay.
Oh my God, Jane, look at that back. Ow!
Couldn't walk for a week after that.
I think once you always can. Is that right? Like riding a bike?
It is. I think it is a bit muscle memory. But I used to sit and watch the TV in the box splits, you know, which is like, 'cause I did do a lot of gymnastics, which is that way. I certainly can't do that anymore, but...
Well, good for you.
They keep getting me to do it.
Love those girls. Right. Coming up next, Kelly Bryan bravely looks back at the defining moment she opened up about her health battles on TV for the first time. And our Kaye is treated to some classic clips that both she and I would probably rather forget. Back after this.
You can't have a party without the beat, so listen to the beat.
Don't show up.
What's going on?
Yeah. Don't start caring about me now. Walk away. You know how. Don't start caring about me now.
It's not a commode of any kind, is it? It's not a commode, is it? Beautiful.
Pull it down.
Oh,
Hello again and welcome to the next part of our Loose Look Back special show. In just a minute, Kaye and Kelly take their seats. It's competition time now, but if you want to win, then you've got to enter. Here are all the details.
How would you like to be living mortgage or rent-free for the next 2 years?
Well, that could be you. That's right. Whether you live in a house, a flat or a palace, we'll cover your mortgage or rent for the next 2 years.
Just imagine all the fun days out you could enjoy with all that extra cash.
And speaking of cash, we're also throwing in a mouth-watering £70,000.
It doesn't matter who you are or where you live, someone out there is guaranteed to win this incredible prize, and it could be you.
For another chance to win, go to the website, entries cost £2. Text WIN to 86060. Text costs £2 plus one standard network rate message. Call 09068 786060. Calls cost £2 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and phone number to DY31 PO Box 7558 Derby DE10NQ. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close on Friday, 3rd of September at 3 p.m. Good luck.
Now, like me, our Kaye Adams was on Loose Women from the very start, way back in 1999. Here's what happened when she sat down with Kelly Bryan, who joined our panel 20 years after Kaye and I first did. Gosh, this made me feel really old.
You first came on as a guest, and that was 2016. Gosh. Yeah. And of course, you had just come through a really, really difficult time health-wise.
Yes.
And I think I'm right in saying this was the first time that you were speaking about it, you know, in public, certainly on television. Shall I have a look at that one?
Okay.
Kelly will be here in just a moment to tell us about her ongoing battle with the life-threatening illness lupus. How did it first manifest itself? How did you find out that you had it?
When I, it kind of
coincided.
Yeah. Coincided with when I was when I left the group.
And people look at you and go, well, there's nothing wrong with you.
Well, yeah, like, you know, I'll go do my shopping or whatever, and I sometimes can't.
And that's part of it, stutter.
Part of it. Can't always open my purse, for example.
You look and feel like a different person. How does that feel for you watching that?
Gosh, it makes me feel proud of how far I've come, because
it should be.
I remember how I felt. You know, I was really well supported. You know, Nanny Linda was amazing. So actually, looking back on it, you know, all of my fears, was it worth it? Absolutely. Would I have done it again in a heartbeat?
I think one of the occasions that we all found particularly impactful, and I actually haven't seen the full clip, but I know lots of the girls were talking about it, when you were sharing your kind of rehab, and particularly with speech therapy, I think. If we have a wee look at this one.
But I just came today so that somebody didn't have to go through what I go through.
God, I didn't know you. I didn't know you then. I didn't.
Yeah.
For us to realise just what, you know, you had kind of come through was really a big moment for us all.
And that was me after I'd had some speech therapy. That was me after I'd had physiotherapy. So what you didn't see on that video is my walk to that platform, which I was aided to walk to the platform. So, but that was after, you know, a good period of recovery.
And I mean, you've totally relaxed into this job. I mean, you're very, very comfortable with it all. I mean, we do have a lot of laughs on this show. I mean,
we do.
It's quite a sort of rare platform that allows you to speak about really difficult things. But, you know, within 15
minutes,
seconds, you can just be on to something really quite hysterical, and we've got loads of that. And your first crush is very memorable. Here we go.
Obviously, I love Jodeci. They were up on my wall, and I actually got to meet the boys. They were really, really... Oh, sorry.
All right, love.
They are just as fine in person, let me tell you, ladies. But my other crush was... I loved Ross. I loved both of them. I loved Luke Goss. I was like, yes!
Pretty boys.
Yes!
I got to meet them too.
I was a proper Rossette. I used to wear the little bottoms in my shoes and my toe caps in my shoes.
Judy's not liking it.
No.
One of you needs to go up and have a bit of a dance.
Judy.
Not me.
Judy.
Kelly.
It's you in the position.
Yes, Kelly.
And then you go.
Oh, that took you back to a happy place.
And it did take me back to my happy place. I remember my auntie, when I got off, she was like, I watched you today on Lazy Men. You was like scrubbing up with the screen. I was like, oh yeah, that was me. It's great, isn't it? We get to have so much fun.
How do you, I mean, have you had a lot of sort of, not kickback from family, but we do get ourselves in this little zone and we divulge stuff that you would never ever think that you would, or do stuff you never think you would.
Yeah.
I mean, have you gone home and it's like,
Oh yeah, plenty of times. My dad, I remember we were talking about when my mum and dad got divorced. And my dad said, he was, because my dad was a massive Loose Women fan, still is, before I was on the show. And when he knew I'd got the job, he was like, yeah, be careful, won't you? He was like, you know, on that show, they tell everything. I was like, yeah, no, I'll be fine, Dad. So he was watching one show and we were talking about divorce. He said he was sitting like this on the edge of his seat, like waiting to see what was going to come out of my mouth. And he was like, like on the edge of his seat. But, you know, I was like, Dad, come on, I've got your back. But yeah, I do get a grilling every time I get home. Yeah, definitely.
Well, I wonder if your dad was watching this clip that we're just about to see. Kelly, you win today's prize for the weirdest practicing for a first kiss.
I used to kiss the wardrobe because
oh my gosh.
it was in my room, and so I could do it with the door shut, nobody watching. I just didn't know what I was doing, and there's no one you can ask. You can't go, Mum, how do I French kiss? So I used to practice, and I had it was, you know, a big wardrobe, so I felt like I could do it properly, if you like. I used to knock my wardrobe.
I'm just thinking you're looking around your teenage bedroom and thinking of all the things that you're going to try and snog. You decide on the wardrobe.
Yeah, well, because, you know, kissing is sort of wet, isn't it? So I didn't want to... I knew I could quickly wipe it up. And
just wind it in, Brian, wind it in.
And what did your dad say about that one?
Like digging a hole for myself. Kissing's kind of wet. Yeah, keep going, Brian. My dad, he laughed, but he did get his mates calling him up because he's got like a group of mates and they all go out for dinner like once a month, and they did all phone him up and wind him up. Kelly's been kissing the wardrobe. Like, yeah.
Did you get good at it from the wardrobe? Did you perfect your technique?
I think, you know what it is? I think I was an only child and there wasn't anyone to ask. So I thought, I'll just give it a go, you know. It was there. I don't know. Oh, I'm digging
You've not done so bad. You're fine. You're
I'm
fine.
quite a good kisser now, I'd say.
He's in prison, but she wants a baby. Should a convicted murderer and his wife be allowed to have a child? And high-flying women in a man's world, they want it all.
God, there's Colleen.
So
We're also
different.
talking to Coronation Street's Hayley. Julie Hesmondhouse is here to tell us why she's
I mean,
just
look,
given the
it looks like a news desk.
big problem.
Surrogacy, that the woman who has the baby then hands it over will then regret her decision.
Jesus, I'm a child.
Apparently that
A child.
Really, and it's a question I'm sure every woman's asked.
You're
going to have another one. Did you ever see yourself doing it?
No one had taken.
No. She's still trying.
Still trying. Afraid to go
Shane Junior.
I couldn't do it for a complete stranger.
Right. Do you know the funny thing about just watching that for me, because we all look so different, is our voices haven't changed that much. And actually, as I kept watching it, and you hear Carol's voice, which is really distinctive, and mine and Nadia's, it was like we had been taken over by alien beings.
I've got another little interesting story for you here, Kaye.
I thought this was supposed to be about you, Kelly.
But you know, I've got to bounce the ball back every now and then. Take a look at this.
I did go out with a guy once, and this was a very odd one. I don't know whether he was slightly shorter I hope than this me, guy so I doesn't don't know whether recognise this has
With hair like that.
But he used to, like, hold my neck.
At the back.
At the back, as a stiff at my... so, like, if I was going to go like that... What? Hang on. So, right, if we're walking along the street, right, okay. So, you have to imagine that he's...
Holding your neck.
I'm him and he's me, right? So that's me, right? Okay. So we would walk along the street like that, and he's holding the back of my neck like that. So we're going on like that, and I'm feeling like a ventriloquist dummy, and I'm thinking, I would see a corner coming up, and I'm thinking, oh! What you doing this with my neck?
Did you say anything to him?
No. Why don't you say anything?
What do you think she could have said, Judy?
Leg arm in it. Yeah, stop holding my neck.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that as well. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did he really do that to you?
Yeah. Yeah. Did I really allow that to be done to myself is probably the question, to be honest. Oh, God. Judy, we were just weeping for hours after that. Judy's timing is just perfect. And I just pray that guy doesn't recognise himself in that.
I'm sure he does.
Don't worry, we're not finished yet. There's one more slice of loose lookbacks left to enjoy. And let me tell you, I cried with laughter filming this. It might have something to do with the fact that I was with our Judy. Join us for a guaranteed giggle straight after this.
And you don't want to be looking like Deputy Dog all your life.
But I like little and often, or big and often, whatever.
I didn't do any of it.
No! I'm back!
That is just brilliant. Welcome back to the last part of our special Loose Look Back show, where our newest Loose ladies have a watch of some of their funniest moments since they joined the show. Now, when it comes to loose laughs, this one brings them by the bucket load. I sat down with Judy Love for a trip back in time. Enjoy. Oh, I'm looking forward to this. We've got snacks.
Oh, I'm telling you what.
We're going to work our way through this, aren't we?
This is going to be done before the first clip.
More popcorn, please. OK, so I think the first clip is back when you were a guest, before you were a panellist in 2019.
Oh, my God.
Let's have a look.
Today we're asking if Meghan Markle will ever be truly accepted by the British public. Outspoken, funny and feisty comedian Judy Love believes that she won't, and she's here to tell us why. Welcome, Judy.
There's been hints about, you know, what's the baby's name going to be like? What's the wedding going to reflect? Is it going to be a cultural do? And you haven't seen those particular comments when it's been other roles that have been getting married.
I'm sorry, but I'm just overwhelmed with your posh accent.
I know.
Who are you being?
Did you hear me? In a particular way. Must say my hair looks good, though. Hair looks good.
Were you nervous?
Of course I was nervous. I'm up on Loose Women that's been running for like 20 years, and I'm there with a bunch of legends. They were so friendly, so warm, you know, really pushed me to speak my views.
And the following year, of course, you were an actual panellist.
I know, I can't believe it. I'm just like, what?
She joined us as a guest last year, and Judy loved her so much. So we did that. We've invited her back as a guest panellist. It's the super sassy comedian and presenter, Judy Love.
That is... Oh, my gosh. I feel quite emotional.
Did you sleep the night before? I remember I didn't
I didn't sleep that much. I couldn't believe it. You know, being collected in the morning, driving here, I was like, OK, this is actually... I'm really going there to be a panellist. Being live, I was just like, you got to be careful. You don't say bad words. You know what I mean? You're sitting there and you're like, it feels so intimate. Oh, I'm with the audience and with the ladies. And then you come off and you're like, oh, how many millions have watched today? And you're like, wow.
You being a comedian, you've made us laugh so much, and the audience. There's been so many funny moments. But there's one particular moment which is particularly hilarious. Judy, have you ever worn one of these?
Well, a few times, and they've been lost.
Granny pants, skimpy thongs, anything in between. Where'd you stand?
One time I had on thongs. Yeah, I had on these, not these ones, they're not mine. I had on some thongs, and I'm a fluffy girl, and I left something downstairs to cream. I came out my bedroom, my daughter saw me, and she was like, Mum, you've got no knickers on. I did have knickers, it's just that all the bits had folded over, so obviously the belly had folded to the side, so you couldn't see the side and the front and the legs would squash together in the belly, so it just looked like I had no knickers on.
Another reason why you're such a brilliant loose woman, because you'll go there.
Yeah.
You get very authentic, don't you, Judy?
Listen, I had to keep it real. Anyone who watched that who understands what I'm talking about, because they've been through it when you're sitting there and it's digging and pulling. It's just so uncomfortable. So
you're like a trussed-up turkey.
This is what I'm saying. So I just had to keep it real, and that's the beautiful thing about us, guys. We can talk the serious talk, and when we need to, we can laugh from our soul, and it's beautiful.
So there's been lots of laughs, but there's been a lot of emotions as well.
Yeah.
I mean, you were part of the fantastic episode with Charlene, Kelly and Brenda.
Yeah.
That won Loose Women, their very first RTS award.
I found the greatest love of all inside of me.
Just such amazing voices.
I know, and the words. She did us so proud. It's easy to achieve.
Oh, I've got goosebumps.
Oh, I was off by then.
Yeah.
I was already off. I was off. It is a great.
Did you know we were friends and family watching as well? Yeah.
And if by chance
wow. Whoa.
Find your strength in love.
Oh, wow. Wow. I bet it was hard in a way to even believe that was happening.
God, that set me off. Oh, that was such
that was big.
Oh, God. Having 4 black women with different backgrounds, you know, being on there who are all so talented, and I just thought of all the little girls and little boys who may have seen that and felt like, yeah, I can do that. It's such an emotional, iconic moment that, you know, will always go down in history.
Sometimes you can be quite frisky. There's been a number of occasions, Judy. Shall I just say Jason Donovan?
Oh, good friend, you know, bad gal Gladys, well, not Gladys, Gladys, I call her. She's talking about how vibrant and juicy the exercising is, if you know what I'm talking about, and that you're supposed to use the dance moves in the bedroom. I'm not talking about no Wallace dancing. I'm not talking about no two-steps dancing, babe. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about tick-tock. What? Not too close. So you're going to get the waist, yeah, and this is what you do. And you go tick-tock, tick-tock, tick. No, slow it down, that's it. That's it. Oh!
I hate to think what poor old Jason Donovan is thinking, because he's waiting to come on very, very shortly. No, Jason's thinking, no.
Whoa, but Jason, you've got the moves, Jason. What are you talking about? Especially for you. What are you talking about, Jason? I remember that day. We laughed so hard.
Yeah.
We laughed so hard.
So we've got a little exclusive clip here because we kept him on afterwards, didn't we? For about, I don't know if you remember this.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, let's have a look.
Jason, you've made a 6-year-old dreams come true.
Oh, thank
I
you,
know
though.
that's
You
a bit
look gorgeous
creepy.
in that pink.
Pardon me?
You look beautiful in pink.
Is this being recorded? Oh, thank you, Jason Donovan.
I just need to look at you a little closer. There we are.
Here I am, babes.
Jason Donovan's iPhone. Look.
I'm back.
Jason, I'm here.
I'm pressing the accept button on you, Jude, definitely.
Thank you, babe.
Oh God, that was just
honestly,
so funny.
I don't think anyone understands. When I was like little, 6 and all those age, Jason Donovan was like, oh my God, I had little posters of him.
Yeah.
So how many years, 30-something years later, and I'm sitting there and Jason Donovan is saying to me, I'm pressing the accept button on you.
Judy Love.
And he whines for me. So Nadia, listen, I love working with you.
Aww.
And I think you're phenomenal. You know, you're one of the legends. And you've been on this show for so long. I think we need to look at some of those clips of you.
Oh, let's. We're also talking to Coronation Street's Hayley. Julie Hesmondhouse is here to tell us why she's just given the scriptwriters a blooming big problem. Christmas party season is well and truly here, thank goodness. But are you still cringing from your indiscretions like I am from last year's office party? Did you proposition your boss? Photos of your hidden assets? Oh my God, that takes me. You know, I was 37 there.
Wow, you look much younger.
About 12.
Yeah, you look so much younger.
God, we used to party so hard. We used to have such a great time. I can't fathom that that's the same person. I just look so young. I can't remember being that young.
Miss Kaye Adams.
She always used to stick her finger in her belly button before we came in and put it up my nose. So annoying. Oh, look at me. Who do I think I am? Ooh, Ruth!
Wow.
The question that we've all got to answer today, apparently, is...
Kaye.
Oh, no.
Oh, my God. We always used to do this.
What do you wear?
I miss this.
A flannelette nightie done up to the neck, full buttons down to the end.
A nicotine patch, because I think smoking in bed is disgusting.
What did you see earlier?
A bra.
I love seeing you and Kaye. Obviously, I love seeing all the women, but when I see you and Kaye, because that same kind of banter, it's just lovely.
22 years. 22 years ago it was we did the first Loose Women, yeah. And we used to both do it 5 days a week. We'd do every show.
5 days a week?
I can't imagine that now.
Well, you know what? As we're going back and looking on the past and the history that you've made, I wonder, does the number 72 ring any bells to you?
Oh. When I think back to when I was a teenager and you'd have with a new person, I can literally hear the producer, they're panicking because they know that I'm still not sure what words I'm not allowed to say.
Keep going.
But do you remember the first time when it's number 72 popped up? The number 72 is, I can't say the real thing. 72. And I thought I was going to a minute. This is the awful thing, you see, over a period of time. And you'll get this, you forget some of these things you say.
said.
I was doing a 72 and I thought I was going to die and I didn't know who to call.
We're women and we're older women in the sense, and you said in your secure relationship, and, you know, it still kept it quite PC, but for us who knows what 72 take away 3 is, you know what she did.
Finally, we want to thank you guys, the viewers, because, well...
If it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't be sitting here.
You laugh, you cry, just the same as all of us lot. So thanks for watching.
Thank you. Well, I just want to say a big thank you to all you viewers at home for watching us. I'm sorry if I upset you. I'm not that sorry, but please carry on watching us, and we need you.
Absolutely. Honestly, thank you, guys. We wouldn't be where we are if it wasn't for you.
Thank you to you. We always talk about you as the 5th loose woman. Without you, what would this be? Not much.
And I want to say thank you to you at home for allowing me to be in your homes with you and just embracing me throughout this year.
We have had the most fantastic time over the last 22 years, haven't we?
Oh, we sure have, we sure have. And, but listen, we just both want to say thank you so much to you, and we hope that you enjoy having us in your life as much as we enjoy being in yours.
That's got to be our first song when we've got our audience back.
Yeah.
So true. Ooh.
Tell you mean all the world to me. How I'm certain